Hi everyone, it's Claudia here from City Physio. Today I'm going to take you through a couple of stretches and hip mobility drills to get you through your football season. Now, as you know, it's really important that we get those hips nice and flexible so we can run, we can sprint, we can change directions. So these stretches will go from your groin to your bottom and hip flexors. We aim to stretch or hold these positions for about 20 to 30 seconds. Anything less is not really going to do much in terms of your flexibility, and we want to repeat these on both sides about 3 to 4 times, obviously depending on the time you have available. So I'll start off with your groin stretch. So coming into a butterfly stretch, you're bringing your legs out like so, and then you're just dropping into that stretch, allowing your knees to drop down. Now, if you want that extra little bit of pressure, you can bring your elbows down towards your knees, making sure that the stretch is not painful or it's not a burning or a sharp sensation. It should just merely be a stretching sort of pain, I guess. If you're going for more of a deeper stretch, you can then bring your heels closer to your bottom, and you can also drop down, so you're bringing your chest down towards your feet. And again, holding that for about 20 to 30 seconds, making sure that you're breathing with each stretch as well. Now, alternatively, for another groin stretch, we can then go into on your hands and feet. Now, firstly, this is more targeting that hamstring, so the back of the leg. If you wish to go into more of a groin stretch, you will then internally rotate, bring your knee forward, either staying on your hands or you're dropping down onto your elbows. And again, holding that each side 20 to 30 seconds. And that is really just trying to target that inner thigh muscle or the groin, or what we call adductors. We then move on to your hip flexors. So simple hip flexor stretch is in your half lunge position. So one knee at 90 degrees. Now we're stretching the leg that's down on the floor. So we want to make sure that back is in a neutral position. So don't stick the bottom out, but we don't want to completely tuck it under. So allowing that neutral spine to happen, and then you want to slowly come forward. So you should feel that stretch down the front of your leg. Now for a further stretch, you can then bring your arm up in the air. I'll just move back a bit, up in the air, and then you can bring it up and over. Like so. Now if you want a deeper stretch, you then head down onto your hands. So you're allowing that front of the hip to drop down, and then onto your elbows. Now, a common mistake that we see here is that people would tend to drop their knees out or turn their feet out as they're stretching their hips, or extending their back too much. So making sure that you have good positioning of your spine and your foot and knee, and then you just drop down, just allowing that front of the hip to drop down towards the mat, making sure that we're not rotating too much through the rest of the body. Following that, we go into a couple of glute stretches. So onto our backs, targeting this bottom area in here. We're bringing one leg on top, and then you're hooking through and pulling the opposite knee towards your chest. So for a deeper stretch, I will bring my elbow out slightly and I'll push against that top knee, just to allow that further stretch in through the groin and through the bottom. And then you're repeating on both sides. As an alternative or a deeper stretch, we go into a pigeon stretch. So from the front, you bring the leg that you want to be stretching, the side you want to be stretching, underneath. Now the closer you get to 90 degrees at the knee, the more you'll feel it in your bottom. So whatever your range allows you to get to, you're rolling onto that bottom leg, either staying on your hands or dropping down onto your elbows. So then I'll tend to move my foot or knee into 90 degrees a little bit further, rolling onto it, and then dropping down. So from the side, the leg that you're trying to stretch, bring it under and dropping down. Okay. Lastly, we go through a couple of hip mobility stretches. Now this is really important as we try and open up that hip joint. This is more of a dynamic type of movement. So you're starting off in your mermaid, or what we call a 90-90 position. So 90 degrees at the hips, 90 degrees at the knees, and we then flip from left to right. making sure that this movement is slow and controlled, so we're not just going through speed, but it's also controlled, getting to your end of range as far as you can. And repeating this for about 10 to 15 times, again, depending on time. Now, that's it for our mobility and stretches. Good luck with the season, and we'll see you later.